Ndị be anyị kene m unu. Anyị sị ka ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị na mma. Anyị sị ka nkonye chidi ya zielụkwa. Dịka o si dị ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si were wetara ya bụ ozi unu ji gị ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ nke izi gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo nọ n'ime ya anụ nwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ n'iru akwụkwọ. Dịka o si dị asọ nụrụ si megị na ya kara nwanne ya. Alright, this is according to the Biafran activist. Quote, America, Yabo, United States of America, approves USB, Nkaji, United States of Biafra, first ever embassy in Washington, D.C. All right, this is according to the Biafran activist, Wotela Yabosi. So much I couldn't get beef, on get before I drop what I phone channel, Kuno, but stomach yabi and Danine, one night could need. All right, over to you.
The president of the most powerful nation in the world just made a declaration and an endorsement that will significantly impact the USB movement. Yes. So the question here is, what is that declaration coming from the USA? Well, just in case you don't know, the president of the USA has approved and endorsed the USB embassy that was built in Washington, D.C. Yes. So in this video, I'll be exposing and revealing every single thing that's happened behind the scenes and every other thing that happened before the president of the most powerful nation in the world had no choice but to approve and endorse the USB embassy. Yes, this is going to be a very, very informative and interesting video, and I'll urge you to watch it up until the very, very end. So let's begin. Well, so how did the president of the USA get to see or understand the USB embassy that he just recently approved and endorsed? Well, it all kick-started on the 6th of November of 2024 last year, when Mr. Simon, who happens to be the Prime Minister, came out to make a very, very serious revelation. Well, showing right now on your screen is a post coming from his official Twitter page where he states, breaking: the Nigerian government officially wrote to the president of the USA so as to distance himself from my agitation for freedom. They actually advertised myself to the president. Yes, so as you can see, a series of individuals reported Mr. Simon to the sitting president of the USA so that he can distance himself from him and never endorse him in any way, shape or form. Well, shown right now on your screen is a particular example of an individual, a core member of the All Progressive Congress, who in a post called the attention of the president of the USA so that he can disassociate himself with Mr. Simon. Well, the plans of these individuals domiciled in the All Progressive Congress did not actually work to their plan. Yes, because something happened in reverse. Yes, something that many individuals weren't expecting at that point in time. So what really happened? Let me show this to you. Take a look at this post coming from Mr. Simon, where he claimed, breaking: I briefed the president of the USA campaign team on how the Nigerian terrorist state unalive many USB citizens who were celebrating his victory in 2016, and the message synced very well. So as you can see, this is a tweet coming from Mr. Simon where he claimed that he has briefed the campaign team of the sitting president of the USA regarding some situations that happened in Nigeria back in 2016. A couple of days later, we saw a video that went viral on all social media platforms where an individual representing the USB movement met with the campaign teams of President Trump so as to brief them and give them insights about the current situation in the southeastern Nigeria. Yes, so as you can see, we have this individual representing the USB movement having a series of conversations with foreigners domiciled in the USA, particularly in Washington, D.C. Yes, in that said meeting, Mr. Simon openly supported the sitting president of the USA in his quest on becoming the president of that nation. Yes, so Mr. Simon told the whole wide world that Mr. Trump is the only individual and the only candidate in the US presidential elections that can actually take USA to the next point and to the next level. He came out openly and shared his views and opinions regarding the USA presidential elections. Yes. A couple of days later, Mr. Simon dropped a tweet that gave us more clarity and better understanding on what happened in that meeting, where an individual representing the USB had to meet with the campaign teams of Mr. Trump. Well, showing right now on your screen is this actual tweet or post where it states, I was among the first international politicians as the Prime Minister of the USB government to endorse the sitting president of the USA, and it will go in the stamp of history. Yes, so Mr. Simon happens to be the very first politician, international politician, to publicly endorse the sitting president of that nation. Yes, even Wikipedia had to record that feat. Yes, Wikipedia, which happens to be one of the biggest websites in the world, recorded the fact that Mr. Simon is the very first international politician to endorse the sitting president of the USA before their presidential elections. So this singular act of Mr. Simon drew the attention of Mr. Trump. Yes, so the president of the USA noticed that this man, Mr. Simon, a man from Nigeria and Finland, was so interested in his quest on becoming the president, and that sent some green light to the current president of the USA. But before then, on the 26th of November of 2022, 3 years ago, we received a publication from Daily Post where it states Igbos inaugurate USB house in United States of America and give reasons. So as you can see, individuals from the USB inaugurated a house known as the USB house in America. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a picture recorded from that particular day and time where some individuals representing the USB came together, paid for an apartment, and made it the USB official house. And at that point in time, that house wasn't recognized as an embassy. It was just like a meeting point for individuals and officials under the USB movement. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, take a look at this post where it states Igbos residing in the USA have inaugurated the USB house in Oxon Hill in Maryland, Washington, D.C. Daily Post gathered that the USB house was inaugurated to serve people who believe in the USB and friends of the nation. This was authoritatively disclosed to Daily Post by a source. And interestingly, that USB house in Oxon Hill in Maryland, Washington, D.C. is just 19 minutes drive away from the White House domiciled in Washington, D.C. Yes, so showing right now on your screen is a clear description of the distance between the USB house and the White House domiciled in that country. As you can see, these two institutions were actually very close to each other. It was just 19 minutes drive from White House to the Oxon, Maryland house. Yes, so the proximity of this Igbo house in Washington, D.C. and the White House still in Washington, D.C. gained massive attention from politicians domiciled in the American politics. Yes, well, that wasn't all. On the 26th of August of 2023, 2 years back, we received a publication yet again from Daily Post where it states, Simon, the USB government in exile opens administrative office in the USA. It also went a step further to clarify that the USB government says it has opened an administrative office in Maryland, Baltimore, USA. The Prime Minister of that movement, known as Mr. Simon, disclosed this on Saturday on his official X handle. He said the office would push the quest for the USB liberation and referendum. Yes, so as you can see, at this point in time, the USB already had two houses in Washington, two houses in the USA. One was located at the Baltimore, Maryland, and the second one was located in Oxon Hill, still in Maryland, Washington, D.C. This was a strategic move made by Mr. Simon. Yes, and just in case you don't know, this Baltimore, Maryland house was actually 1 hour drive away from the White House. Showing right now on your screen is a clear satellite image of the distance. So as you can see, it's just 1 hour drive away from each other. So fast forward to the 25th of February 2025. The Deputy Prime Minister of the movement, known as Ngozi Orabueze, met with an individual known as Elias Gerasulis. Yes, so right now on your screen is a publication coming from Mr. Simon that gave more insights where it states the USB lobbyist Elias Gerasulis and the USB Chief of Staff Dr. Ngozi Orabueze are the headquarters of the USB lobbyist firm in Washington, D.C. Yes, so Ngozi Orabueze met with this individual at Washington, D.C. to have conversations about the USB and also to turn all the USB houses in Washington to an embassy. So yeah, these guys had a series of conversations and they came to an understanding, and all of the documents were presented to an institution known as the U.S. Department of Justice. Yes, so this guy submitted a series of documents and letters to this particular group seeking permission to make the USB a nation and to make its houses an embassy. Yes, well, showing right now on your screen is a document retrieved where we can clearly see the fact that Mrs. Ngozi Orabueze wrote to the US Department of Justice requesting for series of agendas to be made. Yes, the very first one is to make the US be a sovereign nation and also to make it a country of its own. And the second one was very, very simple: make our houses an embassy. Yes. So interestingly, a couple of days back, we received a notification that states breaking: Department of Justice registers and recognizes the USB as a foreign nation and its cabinet members. We are no longer an agent organization. We are a nation with all the laws protecting a nation. Yes, this was a massive one for the USB movement. At the same time, as we speak, the USB house located in Oxon, Maryland is currently being transformed so as to occupy the office of the USB embassy in USA, Washington to be precise. So as you can see, this is a massive one for the USB movement, and this is a massive one for the Quest. Kudos to the sitting president of the USA in making this dream come to reality, and kudos to these lawyers standing or seated very close to the president of the USA, because these guys played massive role in ensuring the sovereignty of the USB. Anyways, if this is your first time seeing our videos, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because here we discuss recent happenings and updates from all parts of the world. Yes, so if you want to be among the very first individual to catch our next update, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Thanks. Anyways, moving on swiftly, as we speak, the current president of the USA has done something very, very big and gigantic for the USB movement. This man has endorsed the international passport that will be used officially by all citizens of the USB. Yes, in our previous video, we explained and showcased everything that has happened behind the scenes. Anyways, if you want to watch that video and get full updates, click on this video showing right now on your screen to watch and understand. Click on this video and I will see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.
The update on Finland government gbasara maka the crisis that is happening there, dịka nwanne anyị nwoke si wee kwuo na n'iru akwụkwọ ka efi nwere ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife, drop right ife iche n'ụdị nke gị.